Welcome back to Castle Ravenloft. We're playing adventure number 4, Daylight Assault. A couple little quick correction-y things. Hit point wise, Alyssa is at 5, Kat is at 6. I ended up manipulating the wrong dice during the last episode, so that's cleared up now. And the skeletal guardian needs to go onto the bone pile. So movement wise, when a monster moves to a tile, you're to move them to the bone pile space. If the bone pile space is occupied, then you can decide to move it somewhere else. That's different than, of course, moving adjacent to a hero, but when you move onto a tile, you go to an unoccupied bone pile. If it's occupied, you go somewhere else. So just to clear that up. All right, let's get into it. Alyssa is slowed, and so is Kat. And we're in a bit of trouble. We got 3 monsters on the board. One of them's a 2 hit point skeletal guardian. He's pretty nasty. I think Alyssa's going to go ahead and use her daily power, and that is attacks on the run. Move your speed. Of course, her speed is only 2 because she's slow, but that is going to be okay. Attack 2 monsters that you were adjacent to during your movement. It's only +4. Does 2 damage if she hits, 1 if she misses. So we're going to go ahead and do that. She's going to move. She can only move 2. She's going to go 1 and 2. So there she goes. She moves around. She's going to attack the spider and the skeletal tomb guardian. All right. So, and this will, of course, will go away at the end of her turn, so I will remove it now. So attacking the spider first. Let's have a look here. The spider's armor class is 15. She only gets +4. She rolls a 3 +4 is not 15. However, a miss on attacks on the run is going to do 1 damage. Spider is going to be killed anyway. That's going to give us a total of 2 experience. Now let's really hope we can hit the skeletal guardian, because that will kill it. It has an armor class of 15. If we hit it, we're going to do 2 damage. If we miss it, we only do 1. She rolls a 2. All right, fantastic rolling, Alyssa. Oh, God. Well, she does not kill it, but she will put 1 damage on it. So now it only has 1 hit point left. However, let's not forget, this was a daily power. Flip this card over after use. Attacks on the run, not available anymore for Alyssa. And she did kill a monster, which means treasure card. Let's not forget it, because we need them. Treasure card. Item, Dragon's Breath Elixir. So we have 5 now. You can use it during your hero phase. Attack each monster in your tile. This attack does not count as an attack action. She could use it right now and attack all monsters on her tile, but then we'd lose the treasure card because you discard it. Oh, it's tempting. I could take both of them out. You're not going to get any more treasure cards, but I think she is not going to. She's going to keep it. Or do I want to give that to Kat? No, I think Alyssa's going to keep it. So now we have 5 treasures. That's pretty good. Well, that was the hero phase. Over with. And up next, of course, is the exploration phase. And Alyssa has the nice ability that she does not have to be adjacent to an unexplored edge to explore. So I'm going to readjust the camera. She will be exploring up north. All right, so Alyssa is going to explore to the north. And what do we get for a tile? It's a white triangle. Well, that's not good, because now we're on step 3 of the sun going down. And that's not good. All right, we get a monster. We're not going to get an encounter, but we do get a monster card. And what do we have for a monster card this time? We get another ghoul. Okay, let's fish out another ghoul. So now Alyssa has the warrior skeleton and a ghoul. So out comes a ghoul onto the bone pile. And that's the end of our exploration phase, and we don't get an encounter, so that's at least something. All right. I think I will readjust the camera slightly, and we're going to have the Skeletal Warrior go with his axe, and then the Ghoul right after that. Alright, so just making space here so I can get out the dice tower and roll some dice. So let's take a look at the Warrior Skeleton. What does he have to say? He has to say, if the Warrior Skeleton is within 1 tile of her hero, well, obviously, it moves to the adjacent to the closest hero and attacks with its axe. So +9, it will be attacking Alyssa because it's adjacent. She's the closest hero. +9. I don't like the sound of that, but that's the way it is. So +9, come on, low. 5 and 9 is 14. Excellent, because Alyssa's armor class is 15. You miss. So the Skeletal Warrior misses Alyssa. Wow. That's really good because she only has 5 hit points. What's up next is the Ghoul. If the Ghoul is adjacent, no, it is not adjacent to a hero. If the Ghoul is within 1 tile, it moves to adjacent's closest hero and attacks with a paralyzing claw. That could be bad because Alyssa, there's no unexplored tiles now next to that one. So it's going to get +7, 1. It'll do 1 damage and immobilized if it hits. So it moves adjacent to, oh, hang on, adjacent to the closest hero. Well, hang on, let me read that again. If the Ghoul is within 1 tile of a hero, well, it's actually within 1 tile of 2 heroes. They're both on this tile. It moves adjacent to the closest hero. Well, the closest hero is actually going to be Cat. So it's going to just take 1 step forward and it will attack Cat, who is already slowed. Ooh, this could really be not good. It's going to attack her. She also has an armor class of 15, so it attacks her, and its attack is +7. Come on, low. 11 and 7, 18. Damn it! Alright, well, that means Cat is going to take 1 damage, and she is going to be immobilized. So now Cat and Alyssa both at 5 hit points. Not only is she slowed, she is immobilized. So I think we can get rid of the slowed condition because it just meant she can only move 2 spaces. Now being immobilized, she can't move any spaces at all. So she's slowed and immobilized. Oh, that is not good at all. However, we do have 5 experience points now. So, and we know that she's going to have to be drawing an encounter card because on her turn she cannot move. But at least she's adjacent to the Ghoul, so she can attack the Ghoul. And let me do some looking at Cat's cards and see what she's going to do. Now, obviously, the Skeletal Tomb Guardian is under her control, so if she doesn't kill him, he is going to get to attack both Cat and Alyssa again, which is really bad news. So let me do some thinking here, and we're going to come right back with Cat's turn. All right, back to Cat's turn, and taking a look at her cards and everything. She's going to go ahead and use her daily power, which is a dagger barrage. You fling daggers at each nearby foe. Choose a tile within 1 tile of you. Attack each monster on that tile. Well, this tile is within 1 because it's on her tile. She's going to attack the Skeletal Warrior and the Tomb Guardian. They both only have 1 hit point left now, so we don't even have to roll for damage, because if you hit, you do 2 damage. If you miss, you do 1 damage, +7. So basically, she's going to be guaranteed to do 1 damage to both of these monsters. They're both going to be destroyed, and we're going to flip this card over. She's used her dagger barrage, so she's immobilized, but she's flinging daggers like a maniac. All right, good stuff. That is going to destroy the Skeletal Tomb Guardian. He goes away, which is nice, and she also gets rid of the Skeletal Warrior. And the nice thing about that is the Skeletal Tomb Guardian was worth 3 experience, and the Skeletal Warrior was worth 2. So now we actually have a total of 10 experience. And I guess I should roll her attacks just in case, because if she rolls a natural 20, she could use the other 5 experience we have to level up. And she rolls a 20. So I guess it does make sense to roll the dice. Okay. So I think she is going to spend, now this is the previous 5 experience we've had. So Cat is going to level up 2, 4, 5 experience. We're going to spend that, which we had when she did her attack. Sorry to do this a little bit out of order. And we are now going to take a look at Cat. And we can't forget the treasure card too. So she's going to go from level 1. She has 5 hit points, and she's going to become a level 2 rogue. So her armor class goes up a bit. It's going to be 16 now because she has the Amulet of Protection. Hit points total of 10. So she's going to go from 5 to 7. Because when you... Oh, hang on. When you level up, increase your hit points by 2. So she goes from 5 to 7. So she retains her damage, but her total now is 10. AC goes up by 1. It's on the card. And your surge value by 1 to 5. Okay. And choose an additional rogue daily power. So she gets to choose one more rogue daily power. And she has 2 to choose from. So it was worth rolling the dice on her attack because... So she has deep cut attack. One adjacent monster, hit or miss. If the monster is adjacent to another hero, it takes 2 damage. So hit or miss, deep cut, and a riposte strike. Use your power immediately after adjacent monster attacks you. Attack that monster. If you miss, do not flip over this card. So if it... Ooh. I think we're going to take deep cut. So that's going to be her extra daily power she gets for leveling up. Right on. So Cat goes to level 2. She can't level up again, so there's really no point rolling the second attack. So I got to keep that in mind. Sometimes I just say, well, I don't need to roll because it's an automatic hit. But in these earlier games, unlike Temple of Elemental Evil and Tomb of Annihilation, when you roll a natural 20 on an attack, you can level up if you have 5 experience to spend. So that's what happened to Cat. So it's basically now the end of her turn. Oh, and I almost forgot, which I have done so many times, treasure card for taking down some enemies. And it's a moment's respite. Play this immediately. Darn it, we don't get to keep it. Place this card face up on the top of either the encounter deck or the monster deck. The next time a card would be drawn from the chosen deck, discard this card instead. Well, we're going to put this right on top of the encounter deck because, hey, we don't want those stupid encounters happening. She's no longer immobilized. It's the end of her turn. And now we go to the exploration phase. Well, she's not adjacent to an unexplored edge, so that just ain't going to happen. So we don't get an exploration phase. Now we're into the villain phase. If you didn't pull an exploration card or a tile, or you had a black triangle, you draw an encounter card. Well, guess what? We get a moment's respite. We're not going to be drawing an encounter card because that treasure card just negated the encounter card. So some really good luck for us. Good stuff. Cat levels up. Doesn't draw an encounter card, takes out the 2 skeletons. Wow. And we just have a ghoul here chomping on a leg bone or something there, getting up in our face. All right, and that's going to be the end of our episode for today. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We have Alyssa, level 1, 5 health remaining. She has 3 magic items now. Dragon Breath Elixir, Potion of Rejuvenation, Wand of Teleportation. We have Cat now level 2. She has 7 of 10 health. She has an Amulet of Protection. She can, instead of gaining a treasure, she could... Oh, the Amulet of Protection gives her +1 armor class, so she's 16. And Ring of Regeneration. You regain 1 hit point instead of drawing a treasure card, so she can do a little bit of healing instead of getting treasure cards. But of course, we want treasure cards as quickly as possible. We're halfway to the sun setting, which means we get +1 encounter card every turn. So we want to grab as much treasure and run. So thanks so much for watching along. This is Castle Ravenloft. It's Adventure 4 Daylight Assault. We have Alyssa, the Human Ranger, and we have Cat, the 2nd level now, Human Rogue, trying to scour the dungeons here and collect as much treasure as possible before the sun sets and things get really ugly. So thanks so much for your comments, your subscriptions, your likes. Really appreciate it. Join me next time for the continuation of Daylight Assault.